Say what needs to be said. It's Mr. Pick Six in the building, baby. It's Saturday night. It's not Friday. You know why? I wasn't feeling too well yesterday, man. So I said, you know what? I got to come back and make sure we cover yesterday. We covered tonight, Saturday night, baby. A lot of football going on. So if y'all see me looking distracted and looking at the television, it's because my nephew is on ESPN2 balling for Chaminade Madonna, man. Who they playing? St. John Bosco. I think they're from California, man. So Chaminade Madonna ranked number 8 in the country, baby. Saturday night vibes, man. Y'all mess with me, man. We in the building. Y'all answer the chat, man. Is Patrick Mahomes a better quarterback without Tyreek Hill? Like I say, ESPN2, my nephew on number 18 in the country, Chaminade Madonna, baby. He had quarterback. Tyler Chan's running that thing, running the show, man. What's up, man? How y'all doing, chat? Like I said, man, I missed yesterday, man. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't feeling good, but I'm back, feeling better than ever tonight. That energy I'm going to bring, and you know what I mean? That's what we here. But, man, life is about consistency, man, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to be more consistent, man. Throughout the week, I'm going to drop little gems here and there. I can't wait for Monday and Friday. It's too long of periods in between, man. So I'm going to end up dropping more and more content because I got to be more consistent. That's what life is about, growing, grinding, getting better, setting goals for yourself, baby. So that's what we do at Say What Needs to Be Said. We set goals, we grind, we get better. You know what I mean? Y'all talk to me in the chat. You know what I mean? We're in the building. Melrose in the building. Stay in the building one time. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? We got to get a little consistent. Got the phone call, got the phone ringing. You know what I mean? Chat, y'all let them know we in the chat. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Patrick Mahomes versus Tyreek Hill. Is he a better quarterback without Tyreek Hill? We got to get into it, man. We got to get into it. But we ain't going to wait no longer. We're going to get right into it, man. Get into this thing, and they're going to catch up with us. But, you know, man, I thought this was very interesting, this little article I ran across. And like I've been asking, do you believe without Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback? And when you look at the overall spectrum of their careers and what they provide for their teams and stuff like that, it's very interesting. It is very, very interesting. And Tyreek Hill is playing his best football now. We all know that. He is going crazy with the Dolphins, you know, going into his 9th season. His 3rd with the Dolphins. He has career highs in receiving yards and receptions, with Patrick Mahomes struggling last season statistically. You know what I mean? But stats doesn't always tell the full story, especially for quarterbacks. And that's what we're going to get into. Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl with Tyreek and without Tyreek, but the very next 2 seasons after Tyreek Hill was traded, he won back-to-back Super Bowls. So this seems a little interesting. It seems like you're not able to separate the two and figure out a common, you know what I mean, a common answer. But, you know, I got a little article. I got some interesting facts, man. We're going to break down, like I said, you know what I mean? So, yeah, let's look at this article. Let's bring it up. Let's get to it. Let's get right into it. So y'all see this article, man. Let me blow it up. Blow this article up. Y'all can see this right here. So with Tyreek Hill on the left, 2018 to 2021, and without Tyreek Hill, 2022 to 2024. Right. Now, this is interesting. Right. With Tyreek Hill, touchdowns over 20 yards, 48. First in the NFL. Touchdowns over 20 yards without Tyreek Hill, only 2, 30th. Right? This is from 2022 to 2024 and from 2018 to 2021. Now back to with Tyreek Hill, completions over 20 yards, 133. First, killing it with Tyreek Hill. Completions over 20 yards, 41. Number 28 without Tyreek Hill. Boom. We see the stats. He goes crazy with Tyreek Hill. But let me tell you, we're going to get to it. It's a reason why stats are just stats. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got passing yards over 20 yards. So the total amount of passing yards over 20 yards, 4,600. 4,600. And then without Tyreek Hill, and that was first, of course. Without Tyreek Hill, 1,015 is 30th. And then you got the quarterback ratings, over 20 yards and stuff like that, completions and stuff like that. A little flim and you know what I mean, to sauce things up a little bit. So with all that being said, right, you see that right there. What is the difference between Tyreek Hill with Patrick Mahomes and without Patrick Mahomes, right? So, and yeah, let's get to these stats too. Let me blow this back up. Now you see Tyreek Hill stats, right? Tyreek Hill, boom, going crazy with Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. He was coming to his own, going out there, getting over 1,000 yards, 1,200 yards. You see that in 2021. I'm sorry, let me see. 2022 and 2023, you see Tyreek Hill, that's when he was trying to get those 2,000 yards. So he had almost 1,800 yards after he left Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? So this Tyreek Hill, this is after he left Kansas City, going crazy. 1,700 yards. Yes, they have a 17-game season now as compared to a 16-game season. You know what I mean? So 1,700 yards. He never, almost 1,800 yards. He never achieved that with Patrick Mahomes. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you look at Patrick Mahomes' stats. Boom. From 2017, his yards, we're looking at just yards right now. His yards, first year, he didn't play that much. Then 5,000 yards, 4,000, 4,700, 4,800. Those are all the years with Tyreek Hill. 5,100 was the most he achieved with Tyreek Hill, right? They won one Super Bowl. But if you see in 2022, the very next season after Tyreek Hill was traded, Patrick Mahomes went crazy. 5,200 yards. You see that he had a chip on his shoulder. He had a goddamn chip on his shoulder. And he wanted everybody to realize and see that he is the man without Tyreek Hill. And that's what it's about, man. Adversity comes and stuff like that. You have to show the people the difference. But Patrick Mahomes definitely had a chip on his shoulder when Tyreek Hill was traded, right? And I know how he felt because he was probably feeling like the critics and the media was saying. I don't remember what they were saying, but I only can imagine what they were saying is Patrick Mahomes can't succeed and be this elite quarterback without Tyreek Hill. So he went out there and had a chip on his shoulder. Now, what's the difference when you have Tyreek Hill and you're a top quarterback? You're a once in a lifetime talent, right? And that's what the difference is now. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill, so it forces him to make better decisions. Now, if you look at Tom Brady, and what made Tom Brady so successful is because he knew how to manage games and what type of game needed to be played in those critical situations, right? Brady never had a dominant receiver like Tyreek Hill until he got Randy Moss later on in his career when he came along, which made Brady have to make the best decisions in passing situations. Like I said, in critical moments, in the biggest games of our career, his career, everybody that was a part of that Patriot dynasty, you know what I mean? So he never had that receiver to just throw it up until he got Randy Moss, right? So he had to play the game the way it needed to be played and managed it correctly to be the best ever. And now that's what Patrick Mahomes is going through. Patrick Mahomes, he's been a spoiled quarterback, having Tyreek Hill, this speed demon who no one can cover, right? And now it's an easy outlet. Let me find Tyreek Hill. As soon as the ball is snapped, hut. Tyreek Hill, I'm glued in. I'm tunnel vision. Patrick Mahomes, he got spoiled and he became tunnel vision with Tyreek Hill. And that's easy to do because you have such a dynamic player. And I'm going to get him the ball. It's third down. It's crucial. It's our team needs a play. So we look for the playmakers, right? But the Chiefs continue to progress without Tyreek Hill, right? and won those 2 Super Bowls. And that's why Patrick Mahomes had no choice but to be a better quarterback, manage the games, and make the plays. Those little dink and don't plays, 10 yards there, 5 yards there. That's what it's about. And when you play that type of football on offense, it automatically makes the defense better. The defense, when the quarterback and the offense manage the games correctly, the defense will automatically have unusual, better games just because of time of possession. Keeping the defense off the line, off the field, and keeping them fresh and things like that. But without Tyreek now, you see, they had a. If you look at the, let's look at this, the deep ball. Let's go back to this. If you look at the deep ball down here, where's the deep ball? Completions over 20 yards. Without Tyreek Hill, they 28th and 30th. But guess what? They went and got the fastest receiver in the draft, Xavier Worthy. And he already showing everybody how fast he is. You know what I mean? So don't worry about Patrick Mahomes, baby. Patrick Mahomes is the player. And Tyreek Hill, he is a dominant player. But until Tyreek Hill goes and win the Super Bowl as a Dolphin, and he already made Tua Tagovailoa an elite quarterback and took him over the top, right? But now we have to take that next step and win the Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes is going to continue to win Super Bowls. He's a once in a lifetime talent, and like I say, he's just becoming a better quarterback now that he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. So at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes doesn't need Tyreek Hill. Yes, it will help. And if he had him now later in his career, he probably will use him better and understand how to manage games better with him and when to strike for those deep balls. You know what I mean? But when you have an elite player dominant like that, when you come in as a rookie and he's demanding the ball, saying all these things, yeah, man, sometimes you get caught up in that. So, you know what I mean? That was my little breakdown. And I say Patrick Mahomes doesn't need Tyreek Hill, and it's proven. You know what I mean? And Tyreek Hill, just the way he is, the cheater he is, he's going to make any quarterback better, whatever team he goes to, because of the speed. And we see that with the Dolphins. You know what I mean? 1,700 yards, 1,800 yards, career highs. You know what I mean? But that's my thoughts on this Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes situation. Now we're going to move on, right? We're going to move on a little bit, and we're going to get right to this right here. We're going to get right to it. These two fellas right here. Who do we think going to be the starting quarterback week 1? Y'all talk to me. Who do we think will be the starting quarterback? Oh, excuse me. Week 1. We kind of already know, right? But did y'all see Stephen A. Smith going off on Russell Wilson? You know what I mean? Like we do over here, say what needs to be said. Man, Stephen A. Smith was giving Russell Wilson the business. And what he was basically talking about, being a competitor, and you're in the competition. You're in the battle for the number 1 spot, the starting quarterback spot with Justin Fields, right? And Wilson, basically, Stephen A. Smith is saying how Russell Wilson isn't taking it serious, and he's around here smiling all the time, being cordial with everybody, shaking hands with teammates and stuff like that. And he doesn't feel like he should be that cordial because he's in a battle for the starting position. But for me, you know what I mean? I think Russell Wilson feels entitled. Russell Wilson feels entitled to be the starting quarterback based on his past. And the NFL isn't about what you have done for me in the past. It's about what have you done for me lately. And Russell Wilson would probably end up being the starter quarterback for week 1 for the Steelers. We all know that Coach Tomlin already expressed that. But does he want to be the starter is the question. I truly believe wholeheartedly Wilson doesn't want to be the starter. He's a spoiled athlete. When you have all that guaranteed money from a different team, as we know he has from the Denver Broncos, and he's being paid handsomely, how motivated is Wilson to go out there and put it all on the line when the team that wants him to put on the line is only paying him 1.5 million. It's a psychological thing that plays on in our minds as athletes, right? And everybody can tell and see. No one sees that fire in Russell Wilson as we did before, right? He doesn't have that same fire. And the only thing I think is separating these two in competition is Justin Fields' desire, because they're both, in my opinion, right now at the same level. Yeah, Russell Wilson has more experience. Justin Fields wasn't developed correctly, and he still needs to be developed to, I think he still has an opportunity to make it to an elite status, but he wasn't developed correctly. And the only thing I can say separating these two is the desire and the hungry appetite to play football that Justin Fields has compared to Wilson. Fields is still trying to establish himself as a legit elite quarterback, and he wants to accomplish accolades like we all do. He wants to be all pro. He wants to be a Pro Bowler. He wants to be known as a Super Bowl quarterback and so on. So I know this is a tough decision. And like I said, I told y'all before, Coach Tomlin is used, and he's a spoiled coach. And a coach that, in my opinion, he still has to prove himself because he had Ben Roethlisberger his whole career. Now you have to draft a quarterback. You have to develop a quarterback. You have to make a team without the uncertainty at quarterback. And, that's a challenge for a lot of head coaches, just drafting one that can fit the team. But at the end of the day, we all here to make money. And that's besides the point. We're here to make money. I'm going to criticize him. I'm going to talk good. I'm going to talk bad and all those good things. But Russell Wilson did that. He made plenty of money. And we know that. Plenty of money. $200 million contract, $100 million contract. So the money is there. But like I said, the desire to play football just isn't the same. And that comes with time and age and stuff like that. But Wilson will he find some motivation from somewhere? That can be possible. Is anybody going to motivate him? Is the wifey, Ciara, can she motivate him? And because at the end of the day, Wilson didn't have to sign with the Steelers. He chose to sign with the Steelers. He could have retired and went to broadcasting and being a commentator and all those things. And he chose to sign and come play for a team. And that's the difference. When you choose to sign and play for a team, you have 90 people out there trying to make the team, but it's a 53-man roster. You can't come out there on the field bull jiving and playing, because all these aggressive men right around here are on the team. They're going to hold you accountable. This football is an emotional game. So it keeps the pressure on players to play well. And sometimes if you can't handle that pressure, you're going to fold, and you're going to see it very clear, right? And that's the case for me and Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was a system player and a player that was spoiled to only be able to deal with one type of coaching attitude. And that was in Seattle with Coach Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll and the West Coast offense was the only way Russell Wilson could be successful, in my opinion. He can't be the same without Pete Carroll. And we don't realize that as athletes. I realize that. I know I can do, but a lot of people get caught up and think they're just above what they really are. And, they find out the hard way. And that's what's going on, man. So who will be the starting quarterback? It probably will be Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson will not last long at all. His team is going to feel his energy. They're going to feel the desire that he has. It's not there no more. And they're going to have no choice but to start Justin Fields. Get him some development, and Justin Fields can do. He can develop and make things happen. You know what I mean? So that's what all I got to say about Russell Wilson and the Steelers, man. What up, chat? Yeah, man. So now let's talk about a little Coach Prime. Let's get into some prime time. Right? Coach Prime. Coach Prime, stay in the news, man. Coach Prime, Colorado football. Oh, what just happened? Oh, that's some highlights. Man, y'all seen Florida State get whooped by Georgia Tech? I know all the FSU fans going crazy, man. Dang. Florida State, my son's school, man, my dream school. They getting whooped up on by Georgia Tech, missing these critical field goals in overtime. But yeah, it's college football season, man. So it's time to get on the Coach Prime wagon, baby. And we all know Coach Prime will definitely always be in the news, whether it's good or bad during football season, because he loves the limelight. And nothing's wrong with that. But the first test comes Thursday, and last year was last year, and this year is this year at 8 p.m. on ESPN against North Dakota State. And how well will the Colorado Buffs do this year? I like them to get better. And, for me, I'm curious to see how much Shiloh Sanders continues to progress and improve, because I like that kid. I like Shiloh at quarterback, and I think he's going to be a top pick, and I think he's going to do well as a pro quarterback. And he should have a chip on his shoulder after they came out with that preseason All-American list, and he was not on there. So if he is the dog that I expected him to be, or that I think he is, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna show out there on the field, right? And I also like the move to the Big 12 for Colorado with the speed and athleticism, you know what I mean, that the Colorado Buffalo team has, along with UCF and my school, UCF, and Cincinnati. It's different, right? The talent at receiver that Shedeur has is very productive with new transfers and stuff like that. We got you got Travis Hunter, you had Jimmy Horn Jr. that was already there. Travis Hunter had like 700 yards, missing a few games and stuff like that. But I don't want to see Travis Hunter play too much at receiver. Let him learn and perfect his craft at the cornerback position, what he's going to play at the next position. I know Shedeur needs the talent at receiver, but he got plenty of it. You got this kid, LaJonte Wester, a transfer from FAU. He went for 1,100 yards. You got Jimmy Horn, and then you got this guy, this kid, Will Shepard, that went over 600 yards, that went to Vanderbilt. So the talent is there. Now just the offensive line has to improve. And I like for Shedeur to, throw for a hell of a lot of yards, you know what I mean? But Coach Prime's always in the drama. So we got to check out the drama. Coach Prime is in. And yeah, Coach Prime has a problem with the reporter. Let's talk about that. Let's get into that. And y'all see this? Colorado bans reporter from asking Deion Sanders questions. Y'all see this, right? Let me get me on here, sorry. Yeah, y'all see this? Let me blow it up. So, Colorado bans reporter from asking Deion Sanders questions. Now, Deion Sanders is known, he's infamous for this. He did this at Jackson State. And I guess this is how you control the narrative. I don't know. You know what I mean? I thought it was all fair game and you do your thing. But let's get into it, right? Colorado has banned Denver Post columnists, whatever. We already know that. That's the topic. But after a series of sustained personal attacks on the football team, attacks on the football program, and specifically Coach Prime, the CU athletic department, in conjunction with the football program, have decided not to take questions from Denver Post columnist Sean Keeler at football-related events. The athletic department said in a statement provided to ESPN, Keeler is still permitted to attend football-related activities as a credentialed member of the media, and other reporters from the Denver Post are welcome to ask questions of the football program personnel made available to the media, including coaches, players, and staff. Now, according to the Post, Colorado Athletic Department media relations staffer told newspaper it took issue with Keller references to Sanders as. So this is what they're saying. The guy Keller was saying the tax he was putting on Deion, Coach Prime, and the Colorado football program, right? So he called Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, a depositionist, a deposition Deion. Woo. A deposition Deion. Called Deion a deposition Deion. Then he called Deion the Bruce Lee of BS. Are these attacks? Oh, you know what I mean? It's subjective. Then he called him a false prophet. Oh, I know Coach Prime didn't like that one, boy, when he called him a false prophet. A false prophet, and then he said, and he uses a phrase such as Planet Prime, the Deion Kool-Aid, and circus. So the man is indefinite, according to the Post, right? So this is what they saying that Coach Prime said about the guy said about Coach Prime. But during the exchange, when Keller and Coach Prime got into it at the press conference, right? Keller asked multiple times if he could ask football-related questions, and Deion Sanders declined before moving on to a reporter who asked about his birthday plans. But back up, right? I saw something, right? Wait. Stafford told him, yeah. All right, so that's what's going on. Coach Prime, he gonna always be in the drama. There will always be some drama when it comes to Coach Prime and his team. We always know that. Absolutely, it's gonna always be that facet of that part of Coach Prime's career, right? And that's just the way it is when you're dealing with Coach Prime in Colorado. He commands a lot of attention. He get a lot of viewers. He got a lot of money, and that's the way it is. But is Coach Prime sensitive? Is that sensitive, or is that commanding your environment and controlling the narrative? Personal attacks. What are personal attacks? What you can realize a personal attack, and all these things are subjective for Colorado, right? Because they feel like they're personal attacks, right? And I think it's for us, and in Coach Prime, we are only allowed to praise the brother. You know what I mean? If we criticize Coach Prime, he looks at us different, and I guess that's anybody. I don't look at criticism as if I got beef with you now. I'm here to prove you wrong. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to throw it up in your face, and we can have a talk about it. But I'm not going to be sensitive to the fact where I'm like, keep this guy around him, ban him, stop him from doing his job, stop him from his livelihood and being able to feed his family. I think that's kind of green in my opinion. Florida style, that's green, right? And like I said, he did this at Jackson State. So watch what you say to Coach Prime if you want to stay around. But what are the expectations for Colorado Buffs football team this season, right? Because the standards are the standards. What are the expectations for the Colorado Buff team this season? And the standards are high because of the attention and the notoriety, right, that they're receiving. So with the notoriety and attention, all people are waiting on the wins. And the wins can come. They're gonna come. They're gonna come. We don't know when, but they're coming. You know what I mean? And let's check out this schedule. Oh man, can we see the top right there? At the top, this Thursday, they got North Dakota State, right? I expect them to take care of business on that. North Dakota State. Then, what do we expect Coach Prime's record to be? What do I expect it to be? I'm going to tell y'all at the end because we're going to go through it right here. So we're a little jammed up right here. Let me see if I can blow it up. Can y'all see this better now? We got North Dakota State this Thursday versus Colorado. I expect Colorado to handle business, go out there and do their thing. Right off the rip. If anything happens besides that, that is detrimental to the team, right? Then we got Nebraska. They struggled with Nebraska last year a little bit, but I expect them to get better like they is supposed to in progress, get better, and take care of business this year. So 2-0 off the rip. Now, coming up to Colorado State. That was a tough game. It was a nail biter, went in overtime last year. 3-0. 4-0, Baylor. UCF, your first loss. You can't, that's bias. However y'all feel, I'm biased. UCF takes that victory. Then after that, it gets a little tough. You got Kansas State, got Arizona, you got Cincinnati, you got Texas Tech, Utah, Oklahoma State, and then a few other more. So my prediction, what do I think the Colorado Buffs team will end this season? My prediction is I think the Colorado Buffs will end up 5-7. 5-7 is what I think Colorado Buffs would be. I think Shiloh Sanders, he'll probably throw over 4,000 yards. You got Travis Hunter, you got LeJounte Wester, you got Jimmy Horn Jr., and then you got Will Shepherd. And these kids are seniors, juniors, and things like that. So it's a lot of production and a lot of experience going on. And I think combined, these kids had like 3,500 yards all together. You know what I mean? And we expect Shiloh and Travis Hunter to be at least top 20 picks in the 2025 NFL draft, right? I expect Shiloh to be top 5, but they didn't have him on the All-American list, so things may not pan out the way everybody expect. But Coach Prime expect 4 first-round draft picks this season. Now, let me tell you, that will be an excellent achievement for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. If he can pull that off, man, this program is on its way up. You know what I mean? The notoriety is there, the attention is there, the viewership is there. Starting to get these players drafted and accomplishing their dreams. Yes, he's doing a great job of brotherhood, and I don't know about the environment. I don't know how toxic it is, how toxic the environment is and things like that. But like you say, perception is reality. From the outside looking in, it looks good. It looks like you want to be a part of it. But I pay attention to the end of things. You know what I mean? So we ain't gonna get into all that. But you know what I mean? What I was gonna say, yeah, I really hope they dominate the Big 12, and I think they have a chance to, like I said, with the speed and athleticism. And I really hope Travis Hunter plays cornerback and not go back and forth so much and start to wear him out, because he's a true cornerback and you don't have to put him at receiver that much. You know what I mean? So, that's what I want. That's my expectations for Colorado Buffs and stuff like that. They're gonna go out there, they're gonna play well. And and the most important thing is the offensive line and defensive line. And they attacked that this recruiting season. They went out there, they rebuilt the offensive line, they got some big husky guys, but now it has to play together. Everything has to come together and establish that running game. If they establish the running game, yeah, we're going to see some big things going on in Colorado. But yeah, man, shout out to Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime around here banning reporters, man. Everybody trying to do their job. If you go out here and talk big and act big, people are going to, try to attack you and see if they can get some attention from you. And that's what they're doing, man. Coach Prime posts this. You gotta respect the G code. He know how it go, man. I can't believe Coach Prime doing that to people. But what's up, man? How y'all doing in the chat, man? Shamanat Madonna. What's up, man, bro? Shamanat gonna take care of business. I don't know if you watching or not. Shout out to nephew. Ooh, nephew, 9-15, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Facebook. I gotta put this on Facebook. Y'all see that Shamanat snapping on Bosco, school pop Bosco. 21 for 29, 220 yards, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns. The other quarterback over there for Bosco. But it's a battle, baby. A good game going on ESPN2. Y'all check it out, man. We hyping it up. Anything else going on, man? Like I say, man, I supposed to been on yesterday. I'll be back on Monday. It's about consistency. I got to start having more consistency. Whew, messing up these words today. But that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. I'm just vibing out, chilling. You know what I mean? Answering some comments. Yeah, some of our defense do got to tighten up. They got to get better on that front four, the edge, stop that run. That's what it's about. Hey, look, the California defense pretty strong too, man. They got a front four, front five, front seven. They rushing, they bring a lot of pressure, baby. So we're gonna see. So the game about to come back on. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna see y'all Monday. Say what needs to be said, Mr. Pick Six. If you ain't getting the ball, come to the Art of Interception. You want your homeboys and your children, your nephews, your family members to intercept the ball. They all log on to the Art of Interception and support. You know what I mean? But until next time, say what needs to be said. I'm out.